Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello everyone, we are from Group 1 with member me, Andhika Syahfutra, Meiza Silviana, and then Asih Sulita. So in this material, in our discussion today, we talk about strategy to able to read critically by method THIEVES. THIEVES mean title, headings, introduction, every per sentence, visuals, and end of text, and then summary. Okay, so the first, next, we talk about title. Title in this critical reading material isn't simple language or word or a collection of several words to explain the picture of something we read. The title does not have to be a word that is related to the content or something in story in the book being read. In this case, in developing the material based on critical reading, title is a word that refers to the visual, characters, and plot of the book that has title. Because basically, the title is an initial word that relates or explains the intent for development of contents in book or written word. For example, in book called Cinderella. On word of Cinderella, Cinderella, she is the name of the name of the character that become the title. Cinderella said that the title of this book is the main character in the book and plays a role as a visual description of the character and how the story goes. Next, talk about headings. Headings are table of contents. In a book or written work, headings or table of contents are part of the book with the function of sorting or organizing the contents for the subsection of material or information that make it easier for readers to find the material or information that they need to read. For example, in junior high school mathematics textbook and has a table of contents, which in the table of contents provides information or material about algebra. Next, we talk about introduction. So introduction or prologue is a term for an opening sentence or flashback to written word or book, which is the prefix to describe the content of the story of the book. So in the prologue is an initial description and is an attractive or captivating reading so that we are not confused about reading the content in the book. For example, the book entitled The Monkey King with a prologue. In the Divine Age, there were many heavenly beings form of gods, demons, and those who receive revelation from gods. Sun Wukong is an ape-style race who has the power of gods. Because his instincts as a monkey is to seek pleasure and always make trouble, the god also punishes Wukong because he destroys the realm of gods. During this sentence, Wukong suffers so much that the god gives Wukong the opportunity to atone for his sins by accompanying a monk's journey to get revelation. Okay, so the next material will present by Meiza.
I'm Meiza Silviana. I will continue this material. Okay, next, every first sentence. So in critical readings, we must understand every initial sentence of the story, every paragraph and every sentence structure. Because in the beginning of those sentences, there are implied and explicit meanings with the function of providing information to the reader to understand the content and plot of the story and sentence. This beginning is covering all forms of prologue, monologue, and epilogue. For example, In the first sentence, it is implied during Pak Hender's lectures, they get assignment from him because Pak Hendro attends an event at the rectorate. In the sentence, the implied meaning is Pak Hendro cannot attend his lecture hours. In the first written sentence, towards thus the children of the Walnut Village have to be in their respective homes. It is fair that if they are still outside at that time, they will get hurt. The explicit meaning is that the children of the Walnut Village are required to go home before dusk. Next, visuals. So in critical reading, visuals can be interpreted as a reader point of view to give criticism. Critics or capture what happened and what was explained in the written work or book that was read. The next the read is Asih.
Okay, I'm Asih Sulita. I will continue the material present by Meiza. Next, there is end of text. It can be interpreted as an ending or the end to pass a written work or book, and or it can be called an epilogue. Next, summary. Tells the entire contents of the book that is read by the reader critically in order to provide a summary or simplification of the content of the story from beginning to end. Okay, then it will be hand back to Andhika.
For everyone who's ever here and watch our video about the strategy to read critical by method tips. So if you wanna be good critical reader, you should have this method, because this method is really effective to make you to become critical reader. Okay, that's it for today for our discussion about tips. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.